Would you like your child to become a healthy adult, not just physically when he grows up, but also emotionally, psychologically? What is the most important ingredient that will ensure that your child becomes a healthy and a happy adult? The information in this video is highly important for all parents, especially for parents whose kid is less than 6 months old. Hello friends, I'm Robin Sharma. This video is part of a video series in which I share the knowledge of various psychological experiments with you. Such knowledge can save our mind from a lot of pain, like this kid who could have protected himself if he had just placed himself differently, had he just known the contents of this box. Similarly, our mind can become very irrational and illogical at times. That may cause it to react in a manner which may be highly regretful at times. But if we know all these patterns beforehand through all these experiments, then we can help ourselves. So, dear friends, the story of this video starts in 1920 when a scientist had said that children have affection towards their mother just because the mother feeds them milk. He said that there was no real bond between mother and child. He also advised that if someone wanted a healthy and happy child who's independent, then do not touch the baby other than just feeding him when required. And it must be noted that this advice was not really working well for anyone. Counter to this belief, in 1957, scientist Harlow started an experiment with rhesus monkeys. He took away a group of rhesus monkeys as soon as they were born from their mothers. Then he kept them in the lab and nursed them through two kinds of mothers. One was made of wire and one was made of soft cloth. The wire mother was designed to feed the baby every time it was hungry, while the cloth mother did not feed any milk, only provided comfort because of the inherent soft nature of the cloth. As per the original theory, if babies are going to their mother only to feed, then they should have no affection towards the mother who's providing a comfort. However, in Harlow's study, it was clear that the baby monkey spent 18 to 19 hours in any given 24 hours with the cloth mother and only 1 to 2 hours with the wire mother whenever the baby was hungry. So far, it was not a great insight because obviously baby will go to rest in a place where there is comfort. So a baby monkey spending 18 to 19 hours does not mean that there is love. Harlow questioned what is really love. When a child gets scared and goes close to his mother, is that love? Or is it just looking for some comfortable place to sleep? It is very commonly seen that every time any baby is scared, it'll go close to the mother. What is mother's touch doing to that baby? Is it just about comfort or there is something more to it? So Harlow simulated the same thing with the baby monkey this time. He introduced a scary object in the cage of the baby monkey and let's see how he reacted.
When we frighten him.
And clearly the baby monkey was scared. And the baby monkey ran away. And not just ran away, it ran straight to its mother. And now watch, what does the mother's love do to this baby? His body is getting relaxed. And now it's getting a little curious. And now even aggressive. It was clear that the mother's touch was actually transforming the baby. The love and security that a baby receives from the mother transforms its fear into affection and curiosity. Scientist Harlow did not stop at that. He conducted various other experiments which included open field test. Like a child when put in a strange situation will always be scared. When the baby monkey was put into this open field, it reacted exactly how a normal baby reacts. It was scared. Although the wire mother, which always fed him when he was hungry, was present in this scenario, he had no affection towards her. He felt no sense of security by her presence. As soon as he was sent into the field, He was like a scared baby, took one soft corner and just stayed there quietly. And then watch the interesting contrast. When the soft mother was available in the same scenario, the baby immediately went close and hugged the mother. And see the changes that will start happening in the baby's body. The body slowly relaxes, and his fears turning into affection and curiosity. The baby starts to feel the security of her mother just by her mere touch. The same baby just stood in one corner when his mother was not around. And watch now, when mother is there, he is curious. He is playing around like any other kid, curious to explore. And the baby again goes close to the mother every time he feels a bit threatened. Other than this, Harlow carried out many experiments, which proved that love of a mother is not restricted to her feeding the baby. The love of a mother is a source of strength that allows the baby to handle any situation in life. And the best way to make the baby experience this love is through skin to skin contact. Perhaps you wonder that this was just a story of a monkey. How is it connected to us humans? To show you a clear connection, let me share with you the knowledge of a very unfortunate case study. It is called Romanian Orphanage Story. In 1980, due to some political reasons, Romania had many children in the orphanage, and most of these children were not able to receive touch or affection from a motherly figure. Thousands of kids were suffering in isolation, and when the story came out, the whole world was shocked. People from all over the world started coming to Romania and visit these orphanages to adopt these kids. It was then found out that all these children who have spent a lot of time in the orphanage at a young age were facing difficulties doing the simple tasks that any kid must be able to do of their age. Many of these kids had great difficulties from simple tasks like writing, reading, listening, focusing on a simple task had become very difficult for them. By then, the brain mapping technology had evolved.
These are PET scans of a normal 7-year-old's brain. It's alive with activity. These are Sarah Roman's PET scans. They show what neglect has done to her. The area that controls language is barely active. And the one that interprets sound and emotion has even less activity. It's a black hole. Dr. Chigani is astounded by what the scans reveal.
And the results made it clear that all those kids who were neglected at a very young age were not able to develop the basic features of their brain, like the areas which were responsible for listening, writing, focusing on task, feeling the emotions, listening to things, etc. It was highly unfortunate that something like that happened to kids, but it is even more unfortunate that even now parents are still not aware of the importance of touch in their kids' life. Let's try and understand the logic behind this. Human brain is 2 million years old. It is still living on the same programs from the time we were hunters. Those were difficult times for anyone. A kid that did not receive parental love during those days was eaten away by a snake or a spider or some wild animal. Thus, our brain developed this need to feel sure that someone is around us. And the best way to make sure of that was someone touching you always. If you are a parent of a young one or have been a parent, you know it very well that if a kid is left alone while it's sleeping, then when it wakes up and finds itself alone, it cries like it's really scared. Trust me, that cry is a fear of life. And now imagine living in that fear for months and years at a time. This is exactly what happened in that orphanage. Kids were scared, there was nobody to touch them, comfort them, and it's a well known fact that such acute stress over a long period of time stops the body function. The body stops to grow, brain stops to grow. And first 3 to 6 years are the most important years of any kid's life. The brain develops at a rocket speed and their brain features are just forming. So I hope it's very clear now that a child needs assurance from the time it's born to the time it's 3 to 6 years old. This assurance is given only through skin to skin contact. So, if you really want your child to see things, hear things, feel things, and finally understand everything, then make sure that you provide this vital skin to skin touch to the baby from the time it's born until it's 3 years old minimum. And I would like to clarify that I'm not talking about the parenting style. You may choose any style of parenting after 3 to 6 years, because any kind of parenting will only work when the brain has developed the capacity to interpret the instructions. In this modern era, it's often observed that parents are quite eager to make the child independent. Let me share a story of one of those Romanian orphanage. This child is from the Romanian orphanage. He survived from the orphanage and he was living in America with a beautiful, wonderful parents who loved him a lot. But because he was neglected in the initial years, a part of the brain which is responsible for love and emotions was not fully developed in this child. Although he looked very normal and behaved normally, but he could never feel the love from anyone, nor could he love someone else truly and unconditionally. Within him, he only believed that he has to take care of himself and there is no one else who will. After a few violent incidents, the child was actually divorced and readopted by another parents who were capable of handling such kind of babies. This child lived with its original adopted parents for 5 years, and after 5 years he was readopted by another parent. At this point, I want you to think about it. A boy which was born in an orphanage, stayed there for some years, adopted by loving parents, and after 5 years he was sent to another person, a totally strange person. How much time do you think it'll take the boy to adapt? For this boy, it took 2 minutes to accept the new mother as his mother. For him, at that point, any stranger could have become his mother. He just held her hand and started walking away, calling her mother. And if you, as a parent, do not really wish for a situation where your child is so independent that it does not differentiate between the family and a stranger, then please remember the vital touch. Finally, I conclude this video. All the experiments and research prove that a child requires love, a sense of security from its parent from the time it's born until it's 3 to 6 years old. So please provide that vital touch to the baby, no matter what everyone else is saying. Because the newborn baby requires assurance that you're there to take care of him. After 3 to 6 years, the baby transforms every fear it has into love, affection, and curiosity, and it grows up into a very healthy and loving adult. I would suggest do not keep a separate bedroom for the newborns. Let them sleep with the parents, because not only the touch is beneficial for the babies, it's highly beneficial for the parents too. Parents receive so much of oxytocin because of this touch that mother is almost like she's on drugs. I hope you will not stay away from this healthy drug and you like this video. And if you have any suggestion, feedback or comment, then please write below. I wish you all the love and happiness. Thank you for watching.